Now let's turn to China's lunar exploration program. We've just received footage of the separation process of the lunar probe and lunar rover. Now let's take a look at how Yutu took its first step onto the lunar surface.
ZDS065Z0。北京 B 张相机参数设定 ZDS 动65 Z 动注数据发出。了解是否进行 B 张相机成像？可以进行。北京采集 B 张相机队图像并发回地面，指令发出 ，B 张相机图像下传开始。
What you're seeing here are the preparation, and it was during the night at 1:33, 4 hours after landing. And what they are doing now is cutting the electricity of the toxic camera. And they are getting ready for both the lander and the rover for separate. And they've given the order to conduct the separation. And this picture shows the first step of the rover moving forward. And it will move 5 to 10 centimeters every step. And here is a view captured from the lander of the rover going to the transposition mechanism. And the signal suggests that the lander and the rover are all in normal positions and in normal conditions. And now they've given the order for the rover to move just 100 millimeters. And then now they've given the order to unlock the rover and recharge it. They've given the order to the rover to move 50 millimeters. And please confirm that the move has been completed. And this is Beijing. We confirm that the move has been completed. And this is a view from the monitoring camera. And so far, we can see that the transpositioning mechanism has been lowering. And there are 1 picture per second sent back to the Earth, and we can see these so-called video with small pauses. And this is very accurate and very high definition, and that proves that the data transmission has been going on very well. This is from another monitoring camera, which is located right in front of the transpositioning mechanism to monitor the whole transposition process. Judging from the pictures sent back by the monitoring camera, we can see that the transpositioning mechanism is very close to the surface of the Moon. Now we can see that the rover has been going slowly to the surface of the Moon via the transpositional mechanism. And can see what we see here is the photo of this rover departing from the transposition mechanism, and it's captured by one of the monitoring cameras. And based on this picture, we are seeing that we can see the letters are in a very good position, which suggests that the surface is in a good condition. I believe the former wheels of the rover has already touched upon the surface of the Moon. Now we can see that 4 wheels are all on the surface, now 6. And there is the plot. And the plot means that the rover has officially stepping on its working site. And I know that though we've been informing you and proving you on all these separation and saying that how perfect it is, I believe that many people are holding their breath when seeing the actual pictures especially when we see the actual pictures captured by the monitoring cameras. And during these pictures, we have given you a very detailed explanation.
Well, China's first lunar rover Yutu has successfully separated from the lunar lander Chang'e 3. Now, for the latest on this successful separation, let's cross live to our reporter Ai Yang at Beijing Aerospace Command and Control Center. Hello, Ai Yang. The Yutu rover has just left the lander and is now on the surface of the moon. You have been following the whole process from the control center. Tell us more about this exciting process.
Hi, Pan. We've been at the control center since 3 a.m. this morning, and now on the screen you can see that 3D simulations show the lander has completely separated from the rover, and the moon rover Yutu has arrived at a previously designated spot at the Bay of Rainbows. And just now we saw 3D simulations also showed how the rover slowly descended itself from the lander, and to the untrained eye it seemed the entire process took very long, several hours, and that actually seemed that the rover was taking a very small step at a time, but actually a lot was happening during that time. For example, the rover was making calculations, communicating with the Earth, and also sending back data. And then at about roughly 4:40 a.m. this morning, the moon rover landed at the Bay of Rainbows. And now on the screen you can still see that it records the historic landing time, which is at 11 minutes past 21 o'clock on December the 14th. And also you can see that the lunar probe has altogether been working on the moon for a little over 8 hours. And we know that China is actually 37 years late to arrive to the moon compared to the former Soviet Union and the United States. But actually there are still quite a few highlights to this mission. For example, it is a combined lunar probe by a lander and a rover, and this time the lander will not move anymore after the landing and serve many functions such as a space observing platform, and the rover, it will wheel around some part of the Bay of Rainbows and measure the depth of its lunar soil and crust using extreme ultraviolet camera, and this is also a first done by any country in the world.
Well, Ai Yang, now the Yutu is on the moon's surface. What will happen next?
Well, the rover is designed to work for 3 months, and it will be conducting a lot of work, such as what I said just now, measuring the depth of its lunar soil and crust. And but that actually, the 3 months is 3 months on Earth, and that translates only to 3 days and 3 nights on the moon, as we know that 1 night equals 14 nights on the moon. So basically, and also during the 3 nights on the moon, the rover, as well as the lander and all 8 scientific equipment on board them, will have to put to sleep in order to survive the extreme coldness, and they will be heated by atomic energy batteries carried with themselves. And then the lander is designed to work for a year, and the rover 3 months, like I mentioned just now. But it is very possible that they will work overtime, given that their conditions are still good after the initial life expectancy, and that's actually what happened with the Chang'e 1 and 2 mission. And in fact, the Chang'e 2 mission, the Chang'e 2 lunar probe is still functioning in space right now, 6 years after its launch, because it is still in good condition. And this time, China has just landed its first ever moon rover on the moon, but with current technologies, it is not able to come back to the Earth. But scientists are already working on a Chang'e 5, which is designed to launch into space by 2018 and hopefully bring back samples from the moon.
Thank you very much indeed, our reporter Ai Yang at Beijing Aerospace Command and Control Center. Now, for more insight into China's Chang'e 3 mission. We're joined in the studio by Professor Yang Yuguang from the China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation. Thank you very much for joining us, Professor. So it's been a very exciting process indeed. So what do you think is the significance of this successful separation?
This separation is well prepared and well performed. We know that Chang'e 3 mission is quite different from the probes of the former Soviet Union and the United States. During the early stages, the soft landing probes of the two countries designed a relatively simple procedure for their landing. This time we choose a more complicated procedure for our Chang'e 3. It is similar to that of the Apollo programs, but also have differences from that of the Apollo programs. During our process, the lander itself is controlled highly automatically by itself. So it can choose the landing point, which can be relatively flat. Although we already have the images get from Chang'e 2 mission with a resolution of 1.2 meters, but it is still not fine enough for our Chang'e 3 probe to choose its landing site. And of course, because both our landers and our rovers has payloads to perform scientific research studies. So the structure of the landing vehicle is also quite different from that of the lunar core, our surveyor vehicles, both unmanned vehicles of the other two countries. So it is specially designed, is quite different. And because of this reason, the separation itself, the procedure, is quite complicated. And it must be, as we have already seen, it must be well monitored and well controlled.
As you mentioned, this is a complicated and very unique process. So could you simplify this process for our viewers? Tell us the main stages of this process.
Well, before the separation, after successful landing of the Chang'e 3 probe, the Yutu rover can be recognized as a payload of the whole probe. Well, after landing, the rover will establish its communication line between the rover itself and the Earth. This is a very critical step because establishing this communication, we can check if every system of the rover itself is okay. After that, we will have a procedure to recharge the batteries because after 14 days, we need the rover to unfold its solar panels and get energy from the sun. Then after this will be the very critical parts, will be the separation. And this is achieved also in many sequences. And the first will be the unlocking procedure with the landing vehicle. And then it will be raised up by a spring. And the rover will have the same elevation with the transposition mechanism. And then the rover will move to the transposition mechanism and then lowering down and go to the moon surface through the tracks.
So every step is very challenging, but to our surprise, actually this separation happened successfully an hour earlier than scheduled. So does this mean that whole process went really well?
Yes, of course. You can see that the process is very slow because it is very complicated and we must monitor every step. And after each small step, we must check the telemetry data and to confirm that it is okay. And then only after this, we can perform the next step. And because we have many sensors, and also as you have seen, that there are many monitor cameras which can monitoring the status of the lander and also the rover itself. Because the transposition mechanism is on the lander, and because the environment is very crucial. You know that the high vacuum condition is a challenge for all the moving parts of the vehicle. During the flight in space, you know that if two metal surfaces attach together for a very long time, because of the phenomenon we call cold welding and dry friction, the metal may not separate forever. So we must dealing with this phenomenon, and also we have very special process for the mechanism itself. So this is well designed and well performed.
So this is a very good start for the rover indeed. So in very quick words, Professor, tell us what will coming up next? What do you think is the most important task coming up?
We know that there are different subsystems both on the lander and rover. Now the main task is the separation. After separation, we will check if the moving or the mobile system of the rover is okay or not. This is also very useful for meaningful for the main task of the rover itself.
Right.
And after that, we will also check the payloads on board the rover. And then we will have our scientific research.
Right, so many steps ahead indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Professor. Professor Yang Yuguang from the China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation. And that's it for this special coverage on China's Chang'e 3 lunar exploration mission. I'm pending in Beijing.